friend is a beetle.
It climbed up my arm. It struggled on me hairs.
This is in detail then?
Yeah. It kept stopping every now and then and was rubbing its head with its right arm. It did it about 4 times and always used its right arm. It rested for about 5 minutes, then flew off. Sunday. Had a bit of a to-do with Suzanne because she wanted a line today. I ate this. Once you're awake, you should get up. I got up and put the radio on really loud. She eventually got up. I told her insects don't have lines, so we shouldn't.
Why are you obsessed
I
with
mean,
insects?
you must be fucking unbearable to live with. You must be a nightmare.
No, I've just started, because I've watched insects a lot, I don't want to keep going on about them because we're a bit insect heavy. But at the end of the day, if we copied insects, we wouldn't go far wrong.
I don't know what you mean though. One minute you're saying they're great, then the next minute you'll slag them off.
Yeah, I'll slag some of them off if I don't know what they're doing, but because I've studied them a bit longer, I just think they do
You
it
haven't
right.
studied them.
He
though.
thinks he's like Darwin.
But you just slagged them up and again, don't you think that insects are doing stuff? They're not. It goes there and then it goes back
The
again.
ant was messing about, but only that one. The others were carrying stuff. That's what I'm saying. There's snidey ones in everything. In everything in the world, you get a hierarchy.
Oh, long words!
Ooh. The bookshelf was dusty, so Suzanne asked me to dust it if I get a minute. I ended up looking at every book.
Just the spine. Just for a few seconds each. Yeah. Didn't open them.
I looked in the dictionary to see if the word dictionary would be in the dictionary. I didn't think they would bother with it being on the front page, but it was in the book as well.
It's a good point, though, isn't it?
No, it's not a good point. Because you didn't tell us anything.
Dictionary is in the dictionary.
Well, of course it is.
Well, why? If you go, how do you spell dictionary? You look at the spine and you go, oh, there it is, D-I-C-T, and all that.
So what does dictionary mean?
It's a book full of words, isn't it?
That's what it means. All books are full of words, you idiot.
How to spell them. And if you don't know
No,
what
it's
it
not
is...
how to spell them.
All right, then we'll...
I'll just look up something. No. It's not a book full of words to tell us. No. It's the meaning.
Give us the definition of
definitive
dictionary.
meaning.
It's a book full of words if you want to know what the meanings are. But if you didn't know...
Well, sorry, what was that sentence?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, if you didn't know that, then you wouldn't be looking in it, because you wouldn't know the book is about that. So, if you don't know the word dictionary and what it means, you wouldn't be looking at a dictionary, you'd be looking at an A to Z. Because you
Why leave it out though?
Just because there's so many words in the world, I would have thought they wanted to cram as much as they can on the page, and if the dictionary is already on the front...
Is that why you suddenly used the word hierarchy for the first time ever? Did you find that in there?
Did you see hierarchy in the dictionary?
I feel that big word has pushed out about 26 other more useful ones.
Yeah, well, Suzanne's been going on about me learning another language, but I sort of think your brain has only got so much room on it.
And the rest of it's filled with lard.
So, if I've got to learn everything I know, again, but in a different language, it's taking up space, isn't it?
You don't learn everything. Oh, God.
It's all
What do you mean?
storage, isn't it?
But you don't have to learn it again. You don't have to learn the concepts again. You're merely
Do you know how
learning
many
vocabulary.
moves there are in the human brain? Really, you don't worry, you won't use them all up.
I feel that he has reached his capacity there.
Yeah. Well, you need another sort of. You need an update. You need some more memory.
Woke up to some interesting news. It's good when this happens because it sets me up for the day ahead. If it's miserable news, it affects my day. It said on the news that they have found 2 new flies.
Fucking hell, more insects! What have you done? Is that all you've done this summer?
Bong, trouble in the Middle East, bong, 2 new flies found.
Ladybird climbs up arm.
They were found in the UK and they were found close to each other. Maybe this happened because they were different than the other flies and weren't expected to hang about together, so that's why they knocked about with each other.
That would happen, wouldn't it?
What do you mean?
There's 2 new flies.
What do you mean? Does it mean there are 2 new flies that are different species?
Yeah, 2 new species, and they found them close to each other, right?
Yeah, but they didn't mean there was one of each.
No, yeah, they did. They found 2 different ones.
No,
they have. Seriously, I know that's right. That's a fact. So you've got I don't know the names, and they give them odd names, don't they? Well, say
Yeah.
call it A and fly B, right?
Yeah.
Fly A, I don't know. Say that's orange. B.
Fly B, yeah.
No,
This is painful,
No, but
this
I'm
is
just making it
painful.
easy
But
for
Fly B
you.
wears a little hat. He's got a little hat.
Right, yeah, fine. Now, they found the orange one. I went, look at this over here. this is a bit weird. And they've gone, oh, that's a new species, log it, whatever. And then the other one went, oh, keep your pen handy, look at this one, it's got an atom. So then they found them both within the same distance.
I don't know what that sentence means.
Keep going.
They found them both within the same distance.
But without interrupting him, let him finish this point.
Let me just make one thing clear. Karl Pilkington just said they found them both within the same distance. Think of that!
Don't know what it means, but go on, let him finish this point.
So what I mean is, they weren't knocking about with other normal houseflies because they were probably sort of going, oh, he's a bit weird, leave it. Yet because the other one was also odd, they're hanging about with each other. Don't you understand that? Why is that such an odd concept?
Because you think of it as like two little new kids in school.
Yeah.
They find they're both new and they've got something in common.
They're both goths, so they start hanging out together.
Yeah.
And this was on the news, was it?
Yeah, just on the radio, yeah.
I know if I look into that story, it would be 90% wrong.
Bit tired today because didn't get to sleep as early as I wanted due to a moth getting in the bedroom. I got it in a glass and looked at it for a bit and then let it go because Suzanne wanted to go to sleep. Looked up some interesting news. Some people dug up an old body in Ireland. Turns out it's well old and was here when dinosaurs were here. The really weird bit is it had hair gel in its hair.
Right, what is it?
Fella.
Well, no, it wasn't around when dinosaurs were here then.
Just a bit after.
Right, fine. A lot after, yeah, go on. I think any hominid, anything that could even be linked to anything that may become man is only about 1 million years old, and I think Homo sapiens is probably only about 150,000 years old. Dinosaurs are about 150 million to 250 million.
Yeah, no, it's not the age bit, that's amazing. It's the fact of, there's a fella, won't have even had shoes on his feet.
Right.
And yet he was worried about his hairstyle.
Right, well that's definitely not true either. This is unbelievable.
Well, there was a man on the radio doing poetry, says Karl in his diary. I thought I'd have a go at doing a poem about today.
Not really. Steve, I'm a little bit queasy. He hasn't really written a poem.
He's written a small poem.
No, he hasn't really.
Yes. If moths had eyes...
Fuck me!
Let me read the poem, okay? You wouldn't interrupt T.S. Eliot.
Okay.
If moths had eyes, would they be happier? How do they know they're not dead? Cavemen hunting for food, but not before they style the hair on their head. What would last longer in dinosaur times? A blind man didn't stand a chance. Not with all them rocks about. I'd rather be a blind moth.
Right, it may be the greatest poem ever written.
Just dissecting it briefly, you attempt to rhyme in the first 4 lines, but abandon the rhyming system in the last 3. Is there a creative decision for that?
Can we have Karl read that?
By all
Sorry,
means, yeah.
just you read it as you would like to. So this is, imagine this, right? Okay, this is going out all over the world. This podcast. And now, Karl Pilkington, a new poet from Manchester, now living in London, England, would like to read a poem.
If moths had eyes, would they be happier? How do they know they're not dead? Cavemen hunting for food, but not before they style the hair on their head. What would last longer in dinosaur times? A blind man didn't stand a chance. Not with all them rocks about. I'd rather be a blind moth.
He said it as though the last bit was going to rhyme. He said it like it was going to rhyme. Oh God!
No,
I think he feels as though the final line, I'd rather be a blind moth, is going to be one of those great, it's a summation that somehow the moth is a metaphor, the caveman.
There's no metaphor in that. He really does mean he'd rather be a blind moth.
Yeah, well, just because I've looked at the day's news.
Can we always do that, Karl? Can we always find a day, right, and always sum it up in your thoughts, a poem, just like that? I love that structure. I love that structure. If there's any English students or professors or novelists or poets listening, please email us what they thought of that poem, why it's good, why it's bad. So, give us your thoughts on that. I mean, we would love expert opinion, poets, English professors. Just email us at podcast@rickygervais.com. Now, Karl, apart from being a poet, you are an author now. You've written a book. Which surprised me and Steve, because as Steve said, we thought you'd read a book before you actually wrote one. But you've proved us wrong, and all your teachers wrong, and everyone in the world who thinks you're an idiot. It is actually a very good book. I mean, a lot of it is transcripts from, the podcasts, but you've answered some of your critics, haven't you? And you've tried to prove some of your theories. It's everything about Karl. It is like
all the drawings.
All the drawings. There's new stories, isn't there? I mean, there's so much effort. I can't believe it. He's been working on it for months, and it's out on the 18th of September. But you can order it now, can't you, on Amazon.com and Amazon.co.uk.
What's that book called?
It's called The World of Karl Pilkington. Well, thanks very much. Goodbye from me, Ricky Gervais. Goodbye from Stephen Merchant.
Goodbye.
And goodbye from the little hollow, egg-headed moron that is Karl Pilkington.
Right.
Audible hopes you've enjoyed this programme.
The Ricky Gervais Show on Guardian Unlimited.
Hello and welcome to number 11 in our series of 12 podcasts with me, Ricky Gervais. Hello, Stephen Merchant.
Hello.
And Karl Pilkington. Now, Karl, you have become a phenomenon. Okay? Right. This is a news story that's gone everywhere. It started, I think, in New York, Reuters, and then that's been taken up by every Reuters network everywhere, India, all over Australia, England. Okay, here it is. The headline is, Podcast makes Britain an unlikely internet icon. Britain there, B-R-I-T-O-N. Okay? Now, this is the story by Mark Egan, and it's came out of New York originally. Unemployed British radio producer Karl Pilkington has become an unlikely superstar by using the medium of podcasting for his bizarre statement about eating an animal's private parts. Remember that?
Yeah, it was more about like that reality show.
Well, it says that here. It was during a discussion on the Gervais show about a reality TV show where contestants were asked to eat an animal's penis. Pilkington made internet history while talking about this, it says, right? First, he said he could not eat an animal's penis in the morning because he had a delicate stomach. He then proclaimed, using the British slang for penis, I could eat a knob at night. Okay? His knob soundbite has become so popular that a Google search for I could eat a knob at night yields more than 500,000 listings. Okay? Among them are T-shirts featuring the slogan, okay, and Pilkington's bald head, selling for $17.
Why did I have to make a point about your bald head?
I don't know. Why is that getting a little mention?
Wow!
Doesn't matter. See the T-shirt. Have a look at it. I mean, what is bald? I'm not buying one then. It's not going to make any difference. Either you want a T-shirt with me head on or you don't. It's not an issue.
All it says is,
But
among
also-
them are T-shirts featuring the slogan and Pilkington's bald head. I also liked it when it said, Pilkington plays the village idiot on the Ricky Gervais show. Okay? Now, plays the village idiot suggests that he thinks you're a character, that character being a village idiot. The problem is, the fact that you're not a character, to me, suggests that you are just a village idiot.
A global village idiot.
Yeah. Now...
Just on the websites though, when it said there's loads of websites about eating a knob at night.
Yeah.
Have they looked at each website and gone, yeah, that's to do with the podcast?
Yeah.
Or is it just like gays and that saying, oh, I love a bit of knob at night?
It's a valid question.
It's a valid question. That's why you're an internet icon, Karl, because you say things like that. After Gervais mused on the show that the soundbite could be used in a dance remix, it took just a few days for the internet to be awash with songs using the soundbite as a hook. So what do you think of that, Karl?
Oh, is it big in India?
Well, I don't know. It's all it goes around the world. This is a story.
I know, but I
that's
just
showing
can't
the
believe
world.
the problems that if I was in India, I wouldn't be getting upset about someone in London talking about a knob at night with the problems they've got.
Well, I don't think anyone's getting upset in India. He's just saying that the information's...
I can't imagine people walking around India. Have you heard that song, Knob at Night? I can't imagine that happening with the, they're hungry and that, and it's dusty and everything.
That's your image of India, is it? They're hungry and it's dusty.
I assume it's, the parts of India that aren't dusty and in poverty. There is a lot of poverty in India, but there is also,
Yeah, but these parts...
It's still a major civilization, and the people that live in apartments with computers, they probably might tune in.
But I don't think it's an issue all over the world, is it? Because there's some places where they eat dogs. They'd go, knob at night, not a problem. Might not be a bad thing. Why is that out on a t-shirt? I had one last Wednesday. Not an issue. What do you mean? No. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, again, if there are cannibals listening, if it's, in places that you wouldn't travel to, and they get hold of a little laptop and an iPod, and they're listening to that, I can eat a knob at night, then they're going, what's the problem? What's the big deal? We love a knob at night. We love a little knob at night, yeah. Bollocks in the morning, knob at night. That's the rule.
But what about the fact that they're saying you're a phenomenon, a global phenomenon? Because when you were, a tiny little round-headed mank growing up in Manchester, you could not surely have ever anticipated that you would one day be described as a phenomenon, an international phenomenon.
But, at the end of the day, I went to that school, with a kid with a big head and webbed hands. Now he should be being talked about.
Well, maybe he doesn't want to be talked about. If you've grown up with a big head and webbed hands, the last thing you want to be is talked about. He wants to put on
to blend into society.
He wants to put on a bit of a pair of mittens and paint his head like a crash helmet, so people think, it looks like a big head, but it's probably just a crash helmet.
Yeah, just go about his business.
Yeah,
I've noticed.
Won't get stopped on a bike or anything.
Yeah, but I say if you've got something that's a bit weird, use it.
That's what we're doing.
That's exactly what me and Steve are doing. We have got something that's a bit weird, and we're using it. And I want to speak to the people all around the world. Thanks for listening. But how famous can you make Karl Pilkington? Are you a journalist? Please write about this for people who probably haven't listened to Karl. Talk about Karl Pilkington. Put a little poster up in your window. I love Karl Pilkington. Print a badge. Give it away. Email your friends. Tell one person about this podcast and let them discover the amazing beauty that is Karl Pilkington's mind.
Hasta la vista, baby. I'll be back. I'm here to tell you about Friday night comedies on Channel 4. There's 3 great comedies. New Green Wing, it's nearly ready. My name is Earl and the It Crowd, the great new comedy from creator of Father Ted. Get your ass to Mars. Friday night comedy this Friday on Channel 4. Switch it on. I'll be back. Uzi 9mm. Cause it did the boss.
The Ricky Gervais Show on Guardian Unlimited.
As ever, Rick, there are hundreds and thousands of emails coming in. People contributing all kinds of stuff, pictures as always, and little video clips that I think might be of interest. And of course, as ever, lots of questions for Karl as well, just to sort of try and tap into his brain, see what's going on there. Question from Jade Ramira. Karl, what would you change if you were in charge of what kids are taught in school? Right, because your school experience was a bit iffy. You got very bored, didn't you? You got very disillusioned by school.
Yeah. What I'd do, right, is instead of keep sort of teaching kids about 2 and 2 and that, she's 4. Right?
Well done. Show off.
I think should be asked more questions that make them think rather than something that has just got an answer.
I totally agree.
Right? So
to teach them the quest for knowledge, inflaming their imagination.
But just freaking them out a bit as well, just going like...
See, I knew that's where it was going. Because as soon as you started talking, Rick, I was thinking you're thinking some of the big existential or philosophical questions. What does it mean to be human? What does it mean to interact with other humans? To be a human.
Or teaching them sort of like philosophy on a basic level, that teach them the love for learning. So, get them up to a roots level so they want to learn and then they will learn, as opposed to just teaching them facts.
Whereas
he was thinking, freak them out a bit.
Yeah. No, just like, like I read the other day, and someone sent it in on email, like how there's a dishwasher that's been found on Mars.
Rubbish. Whoa, what? But it's not true.
So tell them that.
But it's not true.
Go home and write about it. How did that happen?
But it didn't happen.
Well, it did happen. It was in a science magazine.
No, it didn't happen. There's not a dishwasher on Mars.
Why not?
Because...
What do you mean, why not?
How did it get there?
But we're always sending, like, rubbish out there and that. It's like...
Not dishwashers. What, you think the council take it away and they go, where can we put it? Well, the tip's full. Well, where's the nearest thing we can dump this? Mars, I imagine.
No, but the same way that fella who, I don't know, was it 2 Christmases ago when he was messing about saying I can get stuff to Mars and all that. He did it wrong because he did it on like Boxing Day, and I just think nobody's concentrating. No one wants to work on that day. It's kind of like, you know what I mean? They're going to do stuff sort of half-arsed, aren't they, on Boxing Day? So it didn't really get there, I don't think, but it crash-landed.
What are you talking about? What was he trying to do?
He was sending something up to Mars.
Yeah, that little fella that wanted to get something on Mars, and it didn't open properly.
Yeah.
It got there, didn't it?
But the thing is, it got there, it didn't open properly. No one's been back to pick it up. And what I'm saying is, we're saying about going to Mars as our next planet. It's a tip. There's loads of stuff that's been flirted up there.
No, it's not.
It's just all like that probe thing is still there, rotting away.
Yeah. So, ipso facto, there is a dishwasher on Mars. We've settled that. Why would they have a dishwasher on Mars? Would they take the dishwasher up with the space shuttle in case they had dinner parties? What are you talking about?
I just think they would have a little dishwasher in there. There's a lot of them. Tight space. You don't want. Who's going to do that? You know, that means.
Do you know how much fuel it takes to move a kilogram?
Yeah.
Out of the Earth's atmosphere. So they're going to take up a dishwasher, are they?
Sorry, but what are they cooking up there, Carl?
How many people does it take to fly a rocket? How many people? Tell me how many people.
Well, it's either one monkey with a banana shoot that feeds it, or probably 2 or 3 humans.
Right, say it's 3 humans.
Yeah.
Now there's 3 humans because they need one to steer it, one to like be going, yeah, we're all right.
Yeah.
One to make some hors d'oeuvres.
One to stop at the petrol station to get more.
What I'm saying is, if you're going to start having a sink, then whoever's
They
washing
haven't got a
up-
sink.
I know, because they've got a dishwasher.
He's got you there.
But anyway, I'm not going to go into that. But all I'm saying is, teach kids things about. Say to them, right, when you go home tonight, there was dinosaurs knocking about ages ago. How would you have lived with them? Get on with it. See you later.
Well, they didn't. I've told you this before. You got a lot of your information from the Flintstones and 1 million years BC with Raquel Welch. There weren't dinosaurs knocking around where there were little fellas knocking around in furry pants.
No, but just sort of saying to them, all right, then, here's a different question.
Go on then.
Would it be better to have dinosaurs knocking about now whilst we're here? Because I put that in my diary the other day, that when you think about it, it's a population problem.
Yeah.
There's too many of us.
Yeah.
We're saving people all the time. No one's allowed to get injured anymore. You've got to, wear a helmet when you're on a bike. Your speed bumps to slow people down. Zebra crossing. Cures for illnesses. No one's dying anymore, right?
Well, I think they are.
Not as many as they should be, because the world's crowded. All I'm saying is
There's still people dying. I think there's still people dying.
not that many though.
Yeah, I think there's still millions of people dying.
Loads of people are living longer, and that's the problem.
So you feel that you should introduce Tyrannosaurus Rex into, say, London, just have them wandering around, just picking people off.
That's what. Just sort of random and that. Because I don't know. I mean, I'm not wishing that anyone I know dies and that. But all I'm saying is, I don't know anyone who's died for ages.
Right.
Whereas if a dinosaur was knocking about, you'd go, Neil's gone missing.
Yeah. And Enor's had her head bitten off by a...
Whatever. I just think then it is survival of the fittest, which is, we've lost all that now. You don't even have to be fit to survive. You just keep sticking a new lung on you. Or... Do you know what I mean? They can do too much now to keep people going.
They just keep sticking a new lung on you.
Question from Kevin. He says, Carl, other than the famous boxing match that you've often talked about, I know that took up about 20 minutes of your time, have you ever been in any other kind of fight? I don't suppose a slanging match. I think they're talking, have you ever been in a physical fight?
Once that I can remember. It was over a woman. Well, a girl. I was at school.
Yeah.
And it was because, like, it's hassle, innit? Right, relationships when you're younger.
Oh,
yeah. About 7.
It was over a woman.
Go on then. Yeah, go on.
And there was this girl knocking about who, she was quite good looking, everybody liked. And my mate, he really liked her. And I didn't sort of ask her out on that, but she just sort of took a shine to me and stuff, right? And Didn't really go out with her properly. It's at that age where going out with someone is just like sort of going, all right, in the morning, do you know when you just sort of nod your head?
Yeah.
And that. Anyway, there was some sort of school disco, and they were playing Spin the Bottle or something, right? And I sort of wandered over to see what was going on, and I stood on this girl's dress and put a hole in it, and she started crying. I was like, oh, I can't be dealing with this, right?
In the boxing, you didn't even get in the... That's not an... Imagine if that was a film! This is a boy's dream of becoming a dancer. Oh, it's shut. Next on. I mean, how is that a story?
Yeah, that was Billy Elliot. Do you think it won quite as many awards?
Yeah, brilliant. Footloose. All right? Yeah. I'm fed up they banned it. Let's go to Eyes Shut. Flash dance. First, there was... it's Warehouse. Never mind. You.
I'm just saying, you'll find something else. I think I got a go-kart after that. I bought a motorised go-kart and kept myself busy with that. So... There's always other
Just
things.
think, Alan Bennett has to sit down and really sweat over his stories.
Yes. Yeah.
He just opens his mouth.
You are a living Alan Bennett character.
So
that's all. Well, Jake, don't worry about that. There's no emotional problems I can foresee if you follow that advice.
So the advice there is do an arranged marriage
if she's not ugly.
minging, she's not completely minging.
Yeah.
And don't worry about dancing. Get a go-kart. Cheers.
Great.
XFM 104.9, we're not here. This next clip is one of my favourite clips. Look, it needs no introduction. Here it is. What should we do next?
It's too much.
Do we need them out of the way?
Do we need them out of the way?
Yeah, just...
Let's explain it again.
If you're new, I'm sort of on a bit of a mission to find out, we've got a lot of animals and insects in the world and stuff. Yeah. Do we need them all?
It still amuses me.
So we've found out we've got to keep jellyfish. We've done octopus. She said we've got to keep them. This week, snails.
Do we need them?
Just doing some research, right? I'm sort of working my way through different creatures and insects and stuff that's on the planet.
Yeah.
Right? And finding out if we need them or not. Right?
Yeah.
Do you know much about snails?
Well, sea snails?
Well, yeah.
Snails in general. I don't know much about snails, land snails. I know a bit about sea snails, like whelks, top shells, that sort of thing.
Would you say they're important?
What sort of sense do you mean by important?
Say if we had to sort of get rid of some animals and insects and that because we're running out of room.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Because I'll tell you what I know about some snails. I don't know if this applies to sea snails as well. I mean, I called you today because a lot of other places are shut.
Yeah.
Right? So, I know they like to eat stamps, apparently. The glue on stamps. They love it, right? Apparently a lot of letters and stuff aren't getting to where they're meant to be getting because snails are crawling into letterboxes and eating the stamps. That obviously doesn't apply to the sea ones, but that's a problem they're causing.
All right.
Were you aware of that? No? But you're glad you answered the phone today? Right? They love beer.
Beer, yeah. Who doesn't?
And also, I don't know if this is right, but I heard that they sleep for 13 years, or can do.
Right. I wouldn't know if they can sleep for 13 years or not. But... I mean, sea snails are pretty important. Yeah, they do quite a good job in the sea. They graze on algae and they provide food for other animals. I mean, you can say that about any fish. How any animal provides whether they exist.
Would you be upset if, someone said, we're getting rid of them?
Oh, yeah.
You would be?
They're an animal, I wouldn't...
Forget being like favouritism and all that I get for them, right? There'll be other things knocking around you can sort of spend your time looking after. You'll still have a job. Don't be worrying about that. I'm not going to get rid of all the fish. Jellyfish need looking after, so you're safe.
Yeah.
But do we need them? Come on, there's loads of people saying, come on, we've got to move on through the animals, and you're holding them up saying, well, I want to keep them.
Well, who's saying we need to... That just sounds a bit crazy to me.
Just imagine. Do you know what I mean? And they would come to you because you work in an aquarium, so they'd be asking for your advice.
Right.
and you're slowing it down.
Well, that's my advice, and I'm giving it to them, so, that's what I think, anyway.
Yeah, but snails, I mean, like I say, they drink beer and that, What do they do apart from some food for a whelk?
They were around, their descendants around a lot longer than we have been.
Yeah, they've been around a long time, but what have they done?
Well, they survived that long, so they must be doing something pretty good.
Well, apparently they sleep for 13 years, so really, even though they've been around for ages...
I think that sounds a bit... But I don't think they sleep for 13 years.
Not all of them, just the tired ones. So, snails, do we need them?
Well, yeah, I just think they've got it's not for us to say, do we need them or not, we can't.
So you think we should keep them?
Yeah, definitely.
Carl, I'm proud of you. That was
getting really quite annoying.
I know. What did he think he was doing? What? I don't know what you tell these people. I mean, you don't get their permission to play this out, do you? You just don't tell
the
them.
thing is, right, I sort of told him what it was about, but we won't say who he is or where he works, because it doesn't matter. I just needed to speak to someone who knows.
I know, Matt, that you were trying to get an answer out of him by suggesting that he would be safe, because he could look after jellyfish if he gave the okay to destroy snails.
He's getting livid, you can tell.
Oh, God. Brilliant. So they've been around a long time, but what have they done?
Well, right, last week when I did Do We Need 'Em, do you know when I called up one of the museums, a science museum?
Yeah, you talking to me?
Yeah, I'm just saying, I wanted to tell you before when the song was on, but you're so busy listening to it.
Yeah, was I so busy listening to a song I was playing?
Yeah, but we're doing a radio show, aren't we?
What's your point?
Well, I just wanted to say, she emailed in to say I got her name wrong, so I'm just apologising for that.
What did you just call her?
I think I called her Jessica.
What was her name?
I don't know, I've got an email somewhere.
What? This is not an apology!
No, I'm
You've
just
got
saying...
it wrong again!
You've not even said her real name. How is that an apology?
Well, I remember, I read the email, so,
But who are you apologising to?
I think her name's Jackie, I think.
Oh, you've got it wrong again, haven't you?
Well, anyway, and she just said if you want to see dinosaurs and that, go to the museum.
You were complaining about that as well, weren't you? You went to a museum and there was too many dinosaurs. He said you just need 4.
No, well, Steve, have you been to the one in Knightsbridge?
I think
this
so.
one that I called up, right? It's nice. You go in, you get a good collection of stuff. You walk in, there's 3 or 4 dinosaurs. You've had enough, right? I went into New York, right? Went to the museum there, hundreds of them. You can't move for dinosaurs. Yeah. It's almost like they're responsible for them being extinct. There's loads of them. So all I'm saying is, if you want to see a dinosaur, go to the one near Knightsbridge. They've got a nice selection, some old vases and stuff. It's worth going. So
That was great, Carl. Play a record. Well done.
For a bit of Amy Man.
Oh, I'm obsessed with this song, Red Vines. It's brilliant.
XFM 104.9, Ricky Gervais show with Steve Merchant, hello there. And we're not here this week, we're off jetting around the world, so we've pre-recorded these links. The time is currently somewhere between 1 and 3 o'clock.
So a time check there from Steve Merchant.
No problem.
Yeah, and what about this weather? Isn't it warm, stroke, edit that, Carl, cold? Okay, whichever one.
I'm pleased to see that the congestion charge has had some considerable effect. Had no effect.
So just, wasn't that great on telly last night, the film? Yeah.
I particularly enjoyed last night's EastEnders, Coronation Street, Brookside.
Okay.
Yeah.
XFM 104.9, Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington. Tell us about this monkey, Carl.
You're going to love this one, Steve, right? So last week we were talking about how, like, a lad left his family because there was problems at home and that. He went and lived in the wood, he got airy, right?
No.
Leave it there, we haven't got time to go into
Right,
it.
so...
That's what happened.
And that's what happened, he lived with the monkeys, he went airy.
That's
Anyway,
what happened.
looked into some other stuff about, like, airy kids and all that. Came across this story about a bloke, right, who worked in a zoo.
Oh dear.
Right? So...
Trouble's brewing.
Loving his job and that, but... it's quite a lonely sort of job because you don't see many people, you're just dealing with animals all the time, right? So anyway, he gets a bit pally with a monkey because it's the closest thing to a human.
Well, that ape is.
Right.
Yeah, but you can't really go that close to apes. It's dangerous.
What do you mean? What type was it? Do you
Just
mean
let him tell the story.
Was it a chimpanzee?
I reckon it was a chimp, yeah. Yeah,
I don't even know, so it's an ape.
It was a chimp. Yeah, but it doesn't matter, does it?
So he
It's
gets
the story.
pally with him?
Right, so he gets pally with him.
What, have they gone on holiday together?
Well, no, I mean, starts
On the pool together?
off just checking each other out and, probably sharing lunch and that together.
Yeah.
Right? Anyway, this goes on for a while. They're getting on well on that. And then after a while, right, the monkey starts sort of imitating him a bit more and sort of walking upright.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Right? So he thinks, oh, that's a bit weird. Anyway, they get on really better and what have you. So he thinks he could live at home with me, because we're getting on a storm.
Yeah.
Right? So he takes him home, and before
Is this
you know
the
it,
beginning of Beneath the Planet of the Apes? I think it is. I think you've seen this on video.
I'm worried, because he's already imitating him and they're moving in together. I'm thinking it's maybe a bit like single white female. Single white zookeeper.
Oh, brilliant.
Right, so anyway, so it's moving in, and it's getting used to sort of the normal human life. It's having a cup of tea in the morning.
Yeah, PG tips.
He finishes the day off with
Finish the day off with what?
It doesn't have to move the piano at one point,
He
does it?
finishes the day off with a little brandy. What, he pours himself one. Is he wearing a smoking jacket?
I'll tell you what, Carl. You're a maniac, mate.
No, this is why it attracted me. It's amazing, right? So he's having his brandy and that, loving his life. Next thing you know, he sort of, I don't know if he loses it or he gets shaved, but the top half of his body is hairless, right? Apart from his head. Right, so he's got a nice...
So it's the opposite of the kid.
Well,
yeah,
this is what I'm saying.
that would happen.
Right.
Well, hang on, but so you don't know if
You don't
he's
even
shaved
know.
or if
How did it say? Then the hairless... What?
I'll bring it in for you, the story, and then you can
well,
see if I've gone wrong.
keep going.
So anyway, so this is going on, and he's having a great life. Then the zookeeper starts getting a bit annoyed because he's having a better life than the zookeeper. The zookeeper's in the zoo.
This is such
So the zookeeper's still got to do a day's work. The monkey's at home, he's partying.
Well,
he's
it gets
got
to a
his other
point when he
chipmates
says there's no point you coming in to the zoo because the whole reason of you being there was because you're being kept there.
Right.
And he didn't want to bring the memories back, so he said, you stay at home. So
you're talking such...
Just let him finish.
God, I don't know if I can sit here and listen to this drivel.
I'm fascinated.
It's nearly over anyway, right?
It sounds extraordinary.
So he's walking upright, he's having a tea in the morning, finishing the day off with brandy. Gets a bit out of hand, only tries it on with the zookeeper's wife.
Make him go away, Steve.
How does he do that?
Well, because he's around humans a lot, he becomes a bit of a charmer.
But what is it that he could do to seduce her? Pick fleas out of her?
He didn't say.
He was Bill.
Yeah, it's well done.
So what about that?
What do you mean, what about it, Carl? It's obviously not true.
I don't understand how
I love that he becomes a charmer. He's got better taste in brandy. And he...
What was it that he was doing that seduced her?
I don't know, maybe because he was at home more than the zookeeper was.
But what would he be doing? He's not going to be talking with her. They're not going to be playing like Trivial Pursuit.
Maybe she liked the silent type. He didn't go into that, he just said that's when the trouble started.
Oh my God.
Is that what Suzanne did when she brought you in?
Talking to the sun.
Oasis and Songbird. It's a nice little ditty
It's all right, yeah.
of a Saturday.
Yes, thank you.
XFM 104.9, Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington. I think we should go straight into it, Carl. I think we should do the competition. There's Carl in the corner.
It seems a little premature.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, I
Do you
think
reckon
so.
it's so good? We should tease it out of them.
It's a big thing.
It's just that I've got absolutely nothing to say of.
Sure.
So I haven't really...
Well, I mean, like often I know you'll have spoken to Carl in the week.
This week, for some reason, I've been speaking to him.
Oh, right.
I spoke briefly to him about Michael Jackson, the documentary.
Yeah.
Now, of course, I thought that was extraordinary.
Amazing,
I asked Karl's
piece of
opinion.
work. Yeah.
And he didn't mention to me the fact that Michael Jackson likes to climb up in trees.
No.
He didn't mention anything about his bizarre relationship with children. He didn't mention anything about his obsessive billionaire spending sprees.
Right.
He didn't mention anything about the mannequins he has in his thing, or the fact that he drives around his sort of 7 hotel suites in Las Vegas in a little kind of old people's scooter. The only thing of note for Karl was he said to me, "Did you notice how big his hands are?"
I'll tell you what, though, I did.
What? How you look at... The man's got, like, a face that he's had reconstructed... Well, I can't say that's libelous.
Yeah, no,
but,
he hasn't.
He's got
he's had two
face.
jobs. Yeah.
And you're looking at his hands.
But I think it's because you look at him and he looks a bit like... there's a bit of androgyny there, but it's sort of like it is quite a petite sort of old lady's face in a way. But then you see these labourers' hands come out. That's always the way with a tranny, isn't it? You know what I mean?
What, you can't accuse him of being a tranny?
No, he's not. No, he's not.
What's he saying?
No,
He's got enough issues, now you're accusing him of being...
I like him. I thought he came up that brilliant. I thought it was really... I really felt sorry for him. No, I think he cleared up a few things as far as I'm concerned. I thought it was a fascinating piece of work. But I did like the shopping spree. That was great.
Extraordinary. Because
just going around just pointing. I know it was bad taste, wasn't it? It was like one of those bazaar shops.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's anything, sort of a gift shop, but they're trying to make it look like Ming.
But if
it's sprayed gold.
If he'd been living in a trailer park, he'd have been ordering, one of those porcelain dolls dressed like a Harley Davidson rider, or an Elvis commemorative plate. It was the kind of billionaire equivalent of that.
But the hands were a giveaway. It's the same as those sort of transvestites. Well, it's like
what was it about his hands when he
Well, you know when you get like a cab driver or something, right, and he decides to turn transvestite about 60, and he goes on Kilroy. Do you know what I mean? That way, he's got a twin set of pearls, and he goes, "I've never felt so comfortable." But his hands are still big. He's got a little wig, and he's got the lipstick on, and he's with his teenage kids who are going, "Kill me."
Do you think he's been having surgery on his hands to make them larger?
Bigger, yeah.
Was that why he was wearing that glove for most of the year?
Exactly, because but I think he wants to be a goalkeeper.
Right.
And they said, "You can't, Michael. You've got big hands."
It would help him climb the trees.
It's yeah. And he can play tennis now without a racket.
Yeah. So what did you make of it, Karl? Were you intrigued?
Michael Jackson thing. It's, it was all right. But that got a load of attention in the press. But the Trisha programme got nothing.
Okay.
Which I know, Steve called me up in the week, right? 10 o'clock in the morning. I was at work, and he goes.
You think so at 10 o'clock?
Preparing this show.
Most people go to work about 8 or 9.
Are you watching Trisha and that? I said, no, what is it? He goes, oh, you'll be loving it, right?
Freaks, was it? Help me, my mum's a freak.
Siamese twins.
Right.
So I couldn't watch it, but he said, oh, it might be on again, because they repeat stuff on ITV2.
Right.
So I had my dinner late, right? Instead of having it at 1 o'clock like I normally do,
yeah.
I had it at 2:30.
Yeah.
Sat in the office, put the telly on, ITV2. These Siamese twins.
Did it blow your mind?
It was amazing. We talk about a lot of things on the show quite a lot. The airy kids crop up a lot.
I was waiting. It's been 10 minutes and you haven't mentioned the airy kid.
Right. And last week we were talking about Siamese twins, weren't we? So it was weird that this programme was on, but it was amazing. I mean, what
I think you can't refer to them as Siamese twins. I think they're known as conjoined twins.
Why?
I think Siamese is maybe considered derogatory, or it's an old antiquated phrase.
Yeah, I think it's because the first famous ones were actually from Siam.
Right.
And that doesn't exist anymore.
No, it's conjoined, Karl.
Yeah.
Get the phrase right.
But you'd think that if that's happened to you, that wouldn't be that sort of offensive. The names that you must get called.
Right. You think that's least
Siamese twins, I'd say, well, that's, yeah.
Now, were you stunned by where they were connected?
Just live with it, we'd say.
Because they were connected, of course, at the forehead.
Oh.
Sort of, which was quite extraordinary.
Well, there was one set of Siamese twins. One had a job and the other one didn't.
That's ludicrous.
Yeah. The other one was unemployed. The other one had a job. She had to go to work. She had to get up at 6 o'clock on her day
I'm
off.
supporting you, literally.
Yeah.
Then they get done off the social for sort of...
Yeah, because the other one was signing on. That wasn't a question that Trisha asked. Annoyingly, because I know that much of the audience was thinking that.
There's a few things that didn't crop up.
What questions would you have asked of them? Because what things did you feel weren't mentioned?
I'd love to just watch Carl watching amazing things.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? It's like early learning.
Mouth slightly open.
Yeah,
some
mouth
slight
open
slide.
dribble, looking round to see if anyone else has seen it. You know what I mean? Like when a cat sees a bird land on the balcony. It can't believe it's luck.
I'd probably say, how do you buy her like a birthday present?
A surprise gift, yeah.
Because everything's ruined.
Sure.
Right? I'd probably ask...
Yeah.
Well, did you not think it was interesting that one of them had a boyfriend?
Well, that was a bit weird, wasn't it?
Uh-huh.
But what was the other thing that I was thinking when I was watching it? I was thinking if one got into crime and that was sent to prison...
Right.
What would happen? How would I handle that?
It's brilliant. It is brilliant. If a chimp could talk.
And what was the other one? The other thing was, what do they talk about? Because it's not as if you can say, oh, well, guess what I did today? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So...
got past in
Well, if you just tuned in, it's XFM 104.9. You've got that bit right. Ricky Gervais Show with me, Stephen Merchant. Hello there. Carl is actually in a little booth. We're not in the studio, you see. This is pre-recorded. We recorded this last week because we're away. And it's sort of like the best of the last 3 weeks since last time we were away when we got like the best of. Me and Carl went out, right? With me and Jane, Carl, Johnny and Gigi, wasn't it?
Gigi?
Is it important to win?
No.
Okay.
But we're walking down the street. Carl was there though, and he can back me up on this. We had a curry. We were walking back, and this little funny homeless fella, didn't he? He I got to tell it before I go, didn't he?
Yes.
He came up to me, right? And he recognised it. And he came up to me and he went, oh! He said, I've just nicked one of your DVDs from HMV. And he shook my hand. He was so happy with it. And I went, right, excellent. He went, all I do is I just swing the bag over the top. Like that, when I'm going out. And he had a bag full of DVDs, didn't he? And he was so pleased to tell me that he'd stolen. Isn't that great?
He said they're going like hotcakes.
Yeah, he said they're going like, of course they are!
Yeah, you're looking at them.
I know, we get paid for them though, don't we?
So not the stolen ones?
Don't we?
No. What do you mean? Did you sign them for him? you idiot. What, so he just nicked 5...
Yeah.
And you said he was homeless, was he?
Well, he don't know, maybe.
No. Surely, how would he have seen the show? He'd just walked past Curry's one
Dixon's.
morning.
Yeah, tell you.
Seen a trailer for it, thought, it would be interesting.
I don't know if he was homeless. I didn't go into his home life.
He shook his hand though.
But he made Carl look smart. Do you know what I mean? So, how does he sell them? Where does he sell them? Does he go to people and go, do you want an Office DVD? They're not nicked.
Yeah.
£4.
Yeah, exactly. Are they stolen?
No. They've still got the tags on them.
Well, it's like those people who, you're those cab drivers that you'll meet at sort of 3 in the morning who've just got a car and just went out with a car.
Yeah.
And I'll pick people up and charge them.
Yeah.
I got in one once. I said to him, the guy just pulled up. He said, I was in like East London. I'm going back to North London. I said, yeah, going to Swiss Cottage. He went, sure, hop in. We set off. He went, do you know the way? I said, well, not really, no. I thought you know the way. You're in a cabbie. And he went, no, don't really know the way there. I said, have you got an A to Z? He went, no. I thought, well, if you're going to go out just on the, just winging it as a cab driver, 2 things, take a map and a torch. He didn't have either. He said, well, I'll probably get to Camden. I said, right, I'll direct you from there. Drove on for about 5 minutes, making conversation. In fact, 5 minutes later, he went, do you know the way to Camden? I thought you knew the way to Camden. I don't really know the way. I thought it was
let me out. £4.
Exactly. And that's, I don't know who's got that sort of time on their hands, that they just think, it's 3 in the morning, I'm at a loose end. I think I'll go out doing a bit of cabbing.
Wow. Yeah.
Because your dad was a cabbie, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was, yeah. Couldn't stand it, but it's good money.
He was he wasn't like a chancer, though.
What was he doing when he put that little Forrest Gump in a weenie bin?
That was part of the cab company thing. They had to do like a charity event once a year, and he did it 1 year. Never asked him again.
Tell the story again.
No, I'd rather not.
Why?
Because we got a few sort of complaints about it.
Why? Why did you get complaints about it?
Because he put a kid in a bin, and it's not the thing to do.
But we could use it as a sort of sobering lesson for people.
Yeah, tell it like a, you shouldn't do it.
Nah, Yeah, but that's how I did it last time, but people still didn't like it. All the stuff I tell you, we don't take the mickey out of people on purpose.
No.
It's real life, innit? And that goes on in life.
Yeah.
My dad was saying that in hospital, though. Do you know I was in hospital?
Yeah.
You know, he did some jokes about old people and that. And he said, at the end of the day, if something makes you laugh, it's funny. And if it makes you laugh, you can't help laughing, can you? Do you know what I mean? So, what are you meant to do? And laughing's good for you.
Yeah.
So...
But being laughed at isn't as good for you, is it?
No, but there's probably more people laughing at one person, so if you balance it out, there's only one person who's upset and there's a bunch of people laughing. So it's
Jesus. Give me an example of that. Give me an example.
Well, for instance, Karl Pilkington as he talks and the people listening.
Yeah, no, give me an example of
I can't, because again, that's what I'm saying. I can't tell you the story, because there might be someone out there who... This person might even be listening and think, I forgot about that and you brought it all back to me. Yeah. So I prefer to leave it, but I think people know...
Why did he put him in the bin in the first place?
Because he was getting out of hand.
What was he doing, though?